Here's a couple of little surprises for me on my window screen. I don't know where they formed a chrysalis, but they managed to turn into butterflies, and now they're hanging out on the screen. This little guy in here came out yesterday, but wasn't ready to fly. If these guys' wings are hard enough, I'll let them all go this morning. There's no gardens around here, but they should be heading straight to Mexico. I'm gonna carefully open the screen now. So I'm gonna put you down just for a minute and I'll be right back. There goes number one. There goes number two. And number three. Good luck, guys. There's one little baby who won't be joining the migration. She had a difficult time getting out of her chrysalis. It stuck to her wing and one of her antennas. So her wing is curled. After the wings were too hard, there's nothing you can do, really. You can't uncurl a wing. It's I did get the chrysalis off of the antenna. I figured that was important. Even if you can't fly, you should have the use of your antennas. This container has a sweet solution made with 1 teaspoon of maple syrup, since butterflies do nectar on the sap that flows from broken branches of trees. A teaspoon of agave, because a friend of mine said, I use agave, it's great, they love it. So I figured, okay, I'll give it a try. And a teaspoon of honey, because honey is just so fragrant, it seems to attract them. In nature, that wouldn't be a good idea, but she's not going out into nature, so it won't be a problem if she gets hooked on honey. So that's a total of 1 tablespoon of sweet stuff, dissolved in 9 tablespoons of water. I could have used grape juice if I had it, or apple juice, but not fruit drinks, because they contain high fructose corn syrup from genetically engineered organisms, which are not safe for bugs. Perfectly safe for people, including pregnant women and nursing mothers and small children and the elderly. They contain toxins derived from bacteria that only harm insects, or so we're told. So we're told. It's up to you. You want to keep consuming high fructose corn syrup? That's your call. I just won't feed it to a bug. And now I'm going to leave this little guy in peace. I've kept crippled butterflies alive for about a month. The alternative is not so, what do you do? Just throw them out and whatever happens, happens? I don't think that's nice. My sister-in-law's taking care of one. Oh, if my nephew gets a hold of this video, he's going to criticize me for saying and Well, that's the breaks. We'll see how well he converses when he gets to be as old as Caterpillar Nana. She's looking right at us. If I could only get this to focus better. Well, who knows, maybe someday I'll have a really good camera for nature photography and I'll wow the world. One of my instructors had a photograph of a Luna moth and a picture of the full moon behind the Luna moth on the cover of National Geographic's. Woo! But guess what? Even he couldn't earn a living at photography. He earned a living as a dentist. But he has that trophy, that one photograph on the cover of National Geographic's. Good for him. I'm going to leave this guy alone now, and I'll be seeing you probably Saturday. I'll be at the farm. I don't know what I'm going to do. If I have a butterfly Saturday, I'll let it go. There's no sense in holding them till Saturday because they're just flying south now. It's that time of year. So, hate to say goodbye today, but I'll be seeing you. Surprise, I'm still here. This one just came out. His wings are too soft to fly. I'll let him go. Oh, I think it's a her. I think it's a her. Yeah, I'll let her out this afternoon. Going to New York City now. See some friends of mine who were in the World Trade Center on 9/11. We have a survivors group. We meet on Wednesdays. I'll tell you more about that some other day. Probably in the winter when the butterflies are gone and I've got nothing else to talk about. I don't know, she's getting around. Maybe I could let her out now. I don't know. Maybe this afternoon would be better. It'll be hotter. And they don't nectar when they first come out. Sometimes they won't nectar for a day and a half. So it'll be okay to keep her in captivity until this afternoon. Well, goodbye again, my friends. See you this afternoon.